Scared Crow by Tony Angelo. Akita grew up in his father's farm in Tanzania. This farm was located in a small town where majority of the habitats were peasant farmers. All the local resident neighbors formed a close community and worked with each other. Ben and Tula, who were Akita's parents, had been living in this community for over 3 decades and most of their activities revolved around this town. They had a little daughter called Bella, who Akita was 5 years older than. Akita grew up loving his father's farm so much and he particularly got attracted to the gathering of crows to an extent that he was always in the habit of regularly watching them early in the morning, in the afternoon and late in the evenings. Everyone in the community was amazed at the way Akita could derive so much pleasure at the mere sights of crows. The crows at the same time were equally attracted to him too. After grooming the crows for a long time, Akita became really emotionally entangled with one of this crow. He named it Figo. In no much time, he began to teach Figo how to communicate in English and it seems like this amazing bird was really interested and in no distance time learned how to communicate in English fast. Figo. Come on over here, Akita spoke swiftly as stretched. It was a blissful and sunny Monday morning and came out in his usual manner to watch the cornfield and get along with the crows. Figo responded immediately at the master's call as he left the gathering of crows and ran speedily to the beckon of Akita. He was always excited whenever he saw his master. How are you today? And how was your night? Akita inquired. Figo inquired with a nod affirming that he was doing great and in good health. He stretched forth his fingers and placed it on Akita's palm, and his master responded with a warm smile. While all these was happening, the other crows were amazed and they gathered together observing everything that was transpiring and marveled. Just as Figo and Akita were having some wonderful moments together, they were interrupted by a call. Akita, aren't you going to school today? Mama called at him. Just a moment, Mom, Akita replied his mama. Get inside quickly and prepare for school, Mama responded to his comment. I have to go now, Akita informed Figo. Figo wagged his head in disagreement. I really have to go, Mama doesn't joke with school, I don't want to get her upset this morning, Akita told his favorite crow friend. Just immediately, Figo placed his head down and walked away really sad. Akita was emotional and felt bad about this but he really had to get going to school. Figo started walking back towards the direction of the cornfield, though he was sad, but he wanted to go back to the midst of the other crows as they would keep him company while Akita is away. As he walked into their midst, they all dispersed. Figo tried to follow them but to no avail, they all avoided him like a plague. When he tried to come closer to them, they became really aggressive and almost fought him. He was left alone. Akita turned back and was walking inside when all of a sudden, he decides to turn around, and he was shocked at what he saw. He realized that the other crows were envious at Figo for being his friend. He felt for Figo knowing he was all alone. Maybe I should take him to school, I must do something about this, he said to himself. He was still in thoughts when his mother's scream interrupted his daydreaming. Akita, get inside immediately and prepare for school, don't let me remind you again, Mama warned. Akita quickly obeyed his mother and did as she had instructed him. At school, Akita was bothered as he couldn't concentrate and was thinking about Figo and how sad he will be. Akita, you look so distracted and unhappy, what is the problem? Akin, his friend, inquired. Akita didn't want to get his friend involved as he might be laughed at. The day was so long and boring as he felt Figo's pain. Akita thought of nothing else other than how he could help Figo stay company since the other crow are beginning to scare Figo. Figo was all alone in the cornfield feeling scared and alone. How wish he could follow Akita everywhere he went. When Akita later got home from school that day, he rushed down to the cornfield in search of Figo. Figo, Figo, he called out but no response. He tried calling out numerous times, still yet no response of any form. He was worried thinking something bad had happened to his best friend. Akita began to feel bad that he left in the morning to school and couldn't offer protection to Figo. He then decided to go check the barn, maybe he would end up having some success, so he thought, though the situation seemed already hopeless. He got to the barn and couldn't see anything. As he was about to turn around, he heard a sharp sound and tracked it only to discover that it was Figo and he was hiding under a pan. "Ooh, thank goodness," he said, signing to himself in relief. "Figo, you got me worried. Why have you been hiding?" Akita inquired. "Have you been scared?" he asked. Figo responded with a confident nod. "Ooh, come over here," he instructed Figo. Figo ran and flew up to him, standing on his right shoulders. They were both happy to be reunited. "Did the other crow scare you?" Akita inquired from Figo. Yeah, Figo spoke to his master, affirming that the other crows scare him. "Ooh, my poor little crow, don't be scared. I am here now to protect you now and forever." They both went out of the barn and spent rest of the day having fun together. At night, Akita could not sleep as he was busy thinking of how he would resolve the issue with the Figo and make him brave whenever he was absent. He finally came across an idea. He will construct a replica of himself and Figo would stay with his replica whenever he was not. Maybe that will prevent the other birds from bullying Figo. What if Figo refused to stick with the replica idea and become more scared, he thought to himself. There is no harm in trying, he finally said to himself convincingly. Akita began to think of how to construct this replica and where to construct it. After some time, he decided to construct it in the middle of the cornfield, to also to use sticks, pad, and even clothes to make it look very much like humans so that Figo won't feel his absence anymore. The next morning, he woke up really early by 5, know that he had to go to school, and went to his father's workshop. He constructed a large crosswood and padded it, then he wore it some unused clothes and stuck it in the front of the cornfield. While he was leaving for school, he instructed Figo to always sit on the replica he made. That day, while Akiba was in school and the other crows came to pick on Figo, he quickly flew and rested on the shoulders of the replica, and the other crows immediately became scared and ran off. Since that day, Figo had always made it his habit to rest on Akiba's replica, and the replica is now seen as the scarecrow because it scared the other crows. Standing on the shoulder of this scarecrow helped establish friendship with new crows that were initially passing by but occasionally settled on the scarecrow's shoulders and made friends with Figo. Tis fast became a tradition as Akita grew into a man and inherited his father's property, including his land and farm.